2, 3. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is HoWorld, and I'm back again. And this time, this is Polar Nights Presents. I have the iconic, the one and only, the main man, Mr. DOZA, the main one. So
What's
now,
up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in and checking us out.
All right, so let's get started by asking, what is Polar Nights? Who is Polar Nights, and what does Polar Nights means to you?
Polar Nights is a team of talented artists. It's kind of a culture we're developing. Just wanted to do something different. I started Polar Nights because I wanted to DJ more myself. You know, as an aspiring artist coming up, it's just hard to break into the circuit if you don't know anybody and all that stuff. And I really didn't know any avenues to go through, but I would host parties at my house, and I figured, okay, well, why don't I take this and put it in venues and stuff like that, because I get tired of my house getting trashed, to be honest with you. But I mean, just the opportunity to DJ more in front of a live crowd and, you know, develop a following and all that stuff that any aspiring artist wants to create. And once we got that started, I mean, we started getting more artists that wanted to work with us, and we kind of took it from, you know, this little dream of ours into something bigger, and it's just developing a culture that's just taking on a life of its own. If you've ever seen us live stream our meetings, or if you've ever been to any one of our parties and seen the collective group of Polar Nights artists, DJs, you can tell we're family. And, you know, that's a big part of our culture and what we're doing. And we just want to find a way to distribute that energy we have with each other onto our following, the people that come to our shows, and hopefully they have a good time with it. I mean, we love each other, we have a good time. It's hard to explain, but I mean, you know, once you've experienced it, you kind of know what I'm talking about.
Now, I know that you guys throw many events throughout the year, and over the years you have thrown so many events, but HoWorld seems to be one of the most, if not the biggest event of Polar Nights.
Yeah.
And this is the 4th annual HoWorld.
Correct.
And where does HoWorld come from? How do you come up with the idea of HoWorld, and what does it mean to you to have the 4th annual HoWorld?
Okay, so HoWorld 1 came up. It's my birthday month. Spoiler alert. I like to do something cool for my birthday, but I wanted to do something different, something original. You know, we started doing underground shows more and more, and we figured having a theme to an underground show kind of would be cool, something different, you know, not just speakers and DJs and people showing up and dancing. And we kind of wanted to create something different, a better experience. Our first HoWorld went off amazingly. The second one was at a venue called the Globe, and you know, that kind of was really amazing. And we figured, you know what, let's really push this a little bit harder. So when we came up with HoWorld 3, we found a new venue for it and stuff like that, and it was a really cool experience. I feel like this year our 4th one is going to be our best one by far yet. We're putting a lot of effort into just the overall experience. You know, just something different. Like I said, it's taking on a life of its own, and it's amazing how far we've come from HoWorld 1 to this point. And I mean, we're just not going to stop working hard to, you know, making it an eventful experience for the people that come out and check us out. This year we are getting a headliner, Doc Martin. He's big in the underground scene. He's been around for years, and he's pretty much a legend in the LA scene. He's, you know, traveled the world DJing. So we wanted to give something more to our fan base, something that they feel is going to enhance the experience. So we're looking forward to that. I play right after him, so hopefully I don't drop the ball. I know he's going to do an amazing job. But yeah, HoWorld 4, this one coming up, is definitely something bigger than I've ever dreamed it could be.
Awesome. Now, how long have you been DJing, and what style of music do you DJ? What genre of music do you prefer to DJ the most?
I like house, tech house. That's my main style at this point in my life. I started off doing electro house, and you know, Dead Mouse was everybody's inspiration. It kind of changed the scene the way it was, because whenever we go to shows, it'd be all trance music, and I love trance, and you know, came up on that. Started doing some electro house, but I kind of felt like I found my groove, my niche in tech house music. And since that point, I mean, I've just been getting a lot of gigs and shows. I mean, just outside of Polar Nights, people like my music, and I really appreciate that. And honestly, when you start off doing something like this, you don't really know how it's going to go. So to find success in something you love to do, it's honestly an amazing experience. And every time people are out there dancing, it could be one person or 100 people, it still feels amazing.
Now, you persuade the viewers to come to Whoville? How would you get them to get into this movement that you mentioned?
That's an easy one, man. I mean, just you've ever gone to any club in Hollywood, any other bar, it's kind of the same thing. You kind of know what to expect. Whoville and what Polar Nights does is something really different. We're going to bring you the music you love, but the experience is going to be something different. Something, if you're tired of just the same old, you're in a crowd of people, but nobody's really genuine with each other. Nobody's really mingling. It's just like that crew, and you guys are trying to avoid bumping into each other when you walk by. When we have shows, it's like a family experience, and everybody knows each other, and it's a lot of familiar faces. So, I mean, you want to feel an atmosphere where you just feel comfortable, and you don't have to